Hey dudes. Hey Irvi, hi Nico.
Hi,
Nice
do
to
you
see
hear
you
me?
again. Yes,
Perfect.
looks like k8gb is still connecting audio, something like that is happening.
How are you, Yuri?
Going well, going well. Everything's good. How's it on your side? How are kids?
Good. Still
Nice.
growing,
That's
distracting
cool.
quite.
Yeah, that's part of the process for sure.
Mm.
Uh, let yeah, fine. How's it going in Apsa?
Well, normal. Mostly,
Business as
mostly,
usual.
yeah, currently working on the TF controller. I mean, quite extensively.
What is that controller?
Telephone controller.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. And so he's still in action. By the way, I maintain provided Terraform for exactly the same kind of concept in crossplane.
Mm-hmm.
You know that stuff?
Sorry?
You know that stuff? So like I can
Yeah,
share.
I basically run it locally and trying to put it like in our infrastructure. We already have an instance running, but
Yeah, but I like provider Terraform. It has already like a kind of crossplane resource
mhm.
style, and I think it's kind of heavily used by a lot of folks.
Mm-hmm.
So you might look at it into it as a replacement, potential replacement for the Terraform controller that is not very much maintained nowadays, if I understand correctly. So yeah, just an idea. And I'm here not to pitch any advanced stuff. So different meeting.
Yeah, we'll come to you directly.
Yeah, yeah. But this provided Terraform I directly maintain,
Mm-hmm.
so it works. So I have a pretty high confidence in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, ERG, is the audio better?
Yeah, it works now. I
Nice.
was stupid and I used my speaker as a microphone and vice versa.
Okay, yeah. Slide swap. Oh, nice to see you, man. How's it going?
Good,
Hi,
pretty good.
Hey, Peter, welcome.
hi, Yuri.
How's it going on your side?
Well, this specific morning has been chaotic, but other than that, things are running good.
Sound great. All right, let's start with the agenda, I guess. So super quickly, please add yourself to attendees list today. Very cool news from last week. I think it was last week. Time flies. We got official public new official third adopter in adopter list, AFI code. Thanks to Andy for public support and adding our organization to adopter list. So basically what we have now is this fanciest adopters list ever, a very homey 3 organizations that are brave enough to adopt Kubernetes global publisher, right? So, and it is already enough threshold to apply for incubation. That's why I updated our annual report here. And basically, I bumped the do you think that your project meets criteria for incubation part? And yeah, let's see how it goes. Current review cycle is apparently long, like, you know, a lot of sandbox projects around, and it takes some time for folks to to review the overall, even sandbox status list, and we'll see how we can then officially apply to incubation status. But so far looks promising. And yeah, as per request by community member, there is high interest for Cloudflare support, and one weekend I decided to tackle it. And basically, thanks to our amazing k8gb architecture, it was reasonably easy to add. And the only missing part is the documentation. That's I obviously, as usual, procrastinated, right? But the stuff is working end to end. So like I tested it on a real account with zones that is not delegated, like, it's isolated, but I was able to see that all desired NS and GUI records are automatically created. So looks like it's done, right? So looks promising. So whenever I add documentation, I'll let you guys know, and yeah, we can make a final review.
And Yuri, my
yeah.
question, I've no idea how it works. Is it working through external DNS or doing the direct API calls to Cloudflare?
External DNS. So that's why it was easy to extend. It uses existing external DNS provider within external DNS. So it was just, create the integration, and that's it. So it was able
Super
to.
cool.
Thank you. Got a ping from Nuno from Millennium BCP, and he suggested us to apply for Azure credits for k8gb. So like to get some kind of infrastructure for testing and that stuff. I'm still forming, like it's kind of long form, and I want to like get into more convincing shape. But anyways, just to let you know that it's in the process and progress, and we will apply officially. And when and if we get some infra, we will be able to execute some, heavy pipelines with a full end-to-end test, this kind of stuff. So we will be able to increase coverage. So Security Slam, I attended the webinar of theirs, and this was initiated by this nice community discussion from Eddie. So they have, like, on top of just CLO, so CLO monitor, like last year, they have another sub initiatives, right? So that are dedicated for some part of the security. So that's something that lasts for 30 days. If you can cover some of them, that would be cool. First thing first is to double check CLO monitor current status. It was like degraded from 100 to 94, and this degradation was most probably not related to our code, but for new checks that were added on their side. So usual stuff, right? So that's something like to tackle. If anybody has like a spare cycle, so just interest into like this security initiative, and it's pretty cool one, very nicely organized by multiple organizations that supporting this direction, including Google. Yeah, it's a nice thing to play with, to establish, and this way support the project visibility and overall security posture. One side effect of this message is that it looks like, and I double checked with Eddie, that k8gb is used in interesting places like US Space Force. They are not listed as a public adopters, at least yet, but they mentioned like through the security channels, and they are apparently fine to public it. So okay, to like, we are really used in a very interesting places around the world.
In the space.
Yeah, in the space. Load balancing in the space.
Yeah, maybe they can adapt in the end. We will see.
Yeah,
like
I actually
availability 1 Mars, right?
yeah. So That's a good geotech. Yeah, totally. Elon Musk compatible. So next one, OLM automation. And
So Yuri,
yeah,
one comment to that.
yeah,
Do you think
yeah.
it will be like applicable for Hacktoberfest, or is it like too big to swallow this task? Because it's October, right? We can apply
Yeah,
for it and like have issues marked with
yeah.
Hacktoberfest for opinion.
Do you have a feeling how much it would take? Like, how much effort?
No, but if you are presenting that they just added one check, and if it's just implementing one check, should be easy in theory, but I haven't looked in detail. So, but I can create issue, mark it as Hacktoberfest, and help the student or contributor with it.
Yeah, that would be it. Thanks, man.
We can try.
Yeah. I'll edit like here, October, best participation. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So, OLM automation, who edited it?
Yeah, I've added this point like directly before the call when I opened this PRs like 5 minutes ago, and basically I've checked that there was a issue that we are missing this automation for one repo. Like we are sending the
Nice.
PRs to what is it, community
Our
operator.
friend from Red Hat will be happy. He was missing
this
it. Yeah.
This one is still failing, but so I need to first. I'm adding the operator manually first, and only then the automation will be run. I've choose to add only the latest release, not all of them.
Cool. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. So it will definitely increase the visibility. So if OpenShift folks will be able to, apparently, if I understand the situation correctly, I never used it, to find in their own marketplace operator hub, right, and install right away into OpenShift. That's cool. All right, and KGB Lite migration plan, Michal, if you can maybe talk us through the planned amount of work in that area.
Yeah. So basically, these are like areas what I found. I will start from the bottom. So revisit GitHub workflow pipelines. Yeah, because we have plenty of pipelines and the code change, and especially the make files. We need to go through the pipelines again and basically upgrade them. Plus, if there is missing some make target, we need to reuse it as well. So currently, they are pipelines for the Terra test and build, so it and test and the linting and such stuff, but there are no pipelines for the creating a Helm package and releasing, etc. So this is missing in the KGB Lite. What's more to say about it? Maybe this is thing that forget it. Yeah, that's it. We can maybe do this in the KGB Lite project because the merge will be like easier, then it's basically a bonus and just.
How do you plan the actual merge eventually, like between two?
This is like quite hard. Maybe we can do like a branch, which will be, for instance, main, because in the KGB we use master. And this main will run together with master, and these issues will be like merged from the feature branch to feature branches, but these feature branches will comes from the main and not from the master.
That
That's just
sounds
basic idea.
Yeah. So like so we will maintain, just to recap, we will maintain two branches in parallel, right? And the main, I mean, it might be confusing, but it's like for a future switch, right? Like, you know, it's easier switch and make a main eventually, right? Like branch dash M kind of stuff. Yeah, for an origin and main branch. Okay, but so it will mean that we for the migration time being, it will be not totally clear where to accept the PRs, right? So like we as a maintainers will probably know
This is
where
difficult
to
because
land.
we
Yeah.
need to do all those issues at once.
Yeah.
At
So
once, like a switch, you know.
that's kind of, yeah, that might be tricky. Yeah, anyway, like we can start to attack it in a practical manner. Maybe it's not as scary as it sounds. As most of the stuff. Yeah.
Revisit Helm chart. There are not any Helm chart, so it must be done again. But the Helm chart is just envelope, so we need to envelope the KGB light. If there needs to be done some changes, we have to do them. Revisit documentation. It is, I think, one of the most difficult tasks on this because documentation has changed in many places. Furthermore, there is missing CRD, for instance. We set the KGB through the annotations only. You know, also there will be some changes in terms of local playground, for instance. You know, because KGB Lite is by default running on 3 clusters for the purpose of better testing. So documentation is quite large. We have to go through documentation and do necessary fixes. Release KGB v100 is just cherry on the top of the cake, but I created like a separate issue.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe we can also bind this release with support, like official support to Azure and GCP, this kind of stuff. So it will be like, you know, also nice integration coverage and new API. So it will like not only kind of a user interface related, but also hyperscaler support. But that's high level, yeah.
And the top one replace the old KGB code with the new KGB Lite code. Basically, is this merging. You know,
Yeah,
it's
a lot of stuff. Thanks a lot for laying it out.
Yeah.
So do you see these things like a sequential, or they can be attacked in parallel, some of them?
They can be done in parallel, I guess. Because yeah, they can be done in parallel. But for instance, revisit Helm chart means that if there are some changes in Helm, we have to go to documentation and do the changes. You know, just same for the GitHub pipelines. If there is some mention in documentation, we have to go to documentation and do modification. So
Yeah. Yeah, it seems huge. Let's see how it goes. And I was thinking maybe like, yeah, what should come first? Like a hyperscaler support for visibility on this serious serious migration. So,
well, maybe
mm.
maybe we can start with the first one that we can migrate the KGB Lite into the main branch of the KGB. This is where we should start, and then let's say start with the revisit GitHub workflows.
Yeah, but as a move to the main branch will mean that like we default to KGB Lite already, right? So you freeze the current state, and I'm not sure.
We will We will still work on the master,
Yeah.
but currently, for the, let's say, last changes in the code, usually if we do changes, these changes are on the like a Helm side, Helm chart, not pipelines, so the Helm chart stuff can be done at the end.
Okay,
Because-
fair enough. So actually, yeah. So like if you like, I'm trying to practically demonstrate what we did, like for example, for Cloudflare support, right? It's indeed just kind of Helm chart integration.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful thing about KGB, right?
Mhm.
So you are able to reuse functionality that is embedded and created by external DNS.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. So
Yeah.
basically, if you can like drop in replacement, make a drop in replacement of a core controller and deterministically proof with the pipelines that it is good, then yeah, the migration is kind of straightforward. But what is bothering me most is probably the breaking API change, right? So we will have no k8gb anymore, right? And
Mhm.
that is kind of serious big bang stuff. So from that perspective, I'm not sure. Maybe we can like add the support for hyperscalers with the GCLB still, like because like it looks like a low-hanging fruit. It just we never had time to test, right? Like a Helm chart based integrations. You can release KGB 1.0 and KGB 2.0 will be actually KGB Lite, but at high level, it's just, I'm just thinking out loud. So just, to stage the migration and not to block the overall adoption of the project, right?
Mhm.
So that's high level thinking. That's just the
Yeah, but makes sense. We can change the strategy or this, but yeah,
Yeah.
like the first, let's say, idea, it's very good. Why not?
Cool. Thanks a lot for learning that, Michael. It's really helpful, like to have this long-term visibility into migration. Super helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool.
Failed Helm published pipeline, and about failing pipelines, we have Viter around as well. I wanted to give a segue for pipeline stuff, so it looks like.
Yeah, I've added this one because it's causing the red badge in our README file, and also this invoking on this OLM build. It's added to this particular pipeline. It's kind of package approach. I use the piggyback approach, and it wasn't run because of it, right? If you can see, invoke workflow for OLM wasn't run. So I should either remove it from this particular pipeline because it obviously can fail from some reason. I have no idea why it failed actually. It says that,
Yeah, but it used to be stable, right?
yeah, it worked all the time, but not this time. So probably it can fail from some reason. So either I can smuggle the invoke workflow for OLM before doing the smoke test installation, or totally decouple it from it because it doesn't have to be here.
And
Yeah,
how
so-
will we test it with the next release only?
So sorry,
Or-
the result was that the OLM for the 0.11.5 wasn't created. So I can run the workflow manually because we support this workflow dispatch option. So I can pick the arguments there and run it. But yeah, I'm just saying that there is an issue with it. Have you bumped into it? It says release k8gb doesn't exist, right? So, or not found in
doesn't.
k8gb index.
No, this is fine because it's standard Helm output, right? It doesn't exist, so like it means like it doesn't exist in a cluster. So it's
Right.
installing it now. But then this is super strange. Why it cannot find the associated version in the index, meaning in a Helm chart repository index? So
It's
maybe
our
some
GitHub pages, right? And I was checking
Yeah.
it, and the tar was there. So maybe it should wait for some time, or for GitHub pages to sync or something. No idea what happened.
Yeah, that's something to investigate, like with a state of so locally this advice is Helm repo update is good, but we just ran it here, right? It is in the pipeline, so that's super strange. Yeah, something to investigate. Maybe some index was lost within a workspace or something like that. I don't know. No, let's figure out.
Yeah, and the chart is there, posted in the
Yeah. Yeah, it remotely rings a bell. Yeah, but target GZ is there, but there is like an index for it. Where is that index? Index
Right, yeah.
that is it that dude? Not that dude.
It's there, I saw it.
Mm. Yeah, 115, right?
0.11.5. Not 0.11.5.
0. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's there.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can check the timestamp because it has created at some time and the action was probably run way too soon, or because it takes some time to sync those GitHub pages, I guess.
Yeah. All right, let's investigate. Thanks for bringing it up, and thanks for the work on pushing to a real operator hub or whatever, like enterprise operator hub. That's cool stuff. Nuno, welcome to the meeting. So this is kind of long term, and we have Rita around. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I really don't know it, and it requires investigation. But looks like we have a stable Terra test failure for your pipelines, and as I hopefully commented, right, we need to reproduce it locally, and that's the only way to proceed. Like, you know, sometimes we have a flaky pipelines, but it looks like it's not the case because they're constantly failing for APR. So my wild guess is something is not ready for some of the modification in the Helm chart, something along these lines. So we need to reproduce.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe like it's also a chance to make pipeline better because currently it's not clear why it's failing, right? I mean, with the feedbacks that we have there. But maybe like a super quick hints, we have a Terra test logs that I think it was implemented by k8gb back in the days, where we bumping them, we logging them extensively, and I think we're storing them as an artifact, right?
Is the print debug info the other one? The RAW?
Yeah, print
Yeah, this
debug info. Yeah. Cool, thank you. So like yeah, there's a extensive Terra test logs where we can, like, you know, dive into that stuff and try to figure out what's happening. Unfortunately, it's kind of, you know, kind of huge machinery, and when it's failing with a non-verbose manner, it might be problematic. But here you actually have a summary of the log, so it might be like provide a good starting point to investigate. So why is this example, app example failed and all that stuff? And
Yeah, and basically it's going to be probably the same issues for the old test. It will repeat in old test. So I think usually if you have something like that, you have one issue, fix that, and all tests are usually green then. So yeah. Sorry for jumping in.
yeah, that's great. So yeah, that's good.
I'll take a look at it, and if I need some help or something like that, I'll get in touch with you guys.
Yeah, please ping in Slack. I'll definitely happy to help. And yeah, that is annoying part. I think like it's a mix here. There is some real issues that is hidden. There is not enough verbosity in a pipeline, and there is also a flaky part in it that we also struggling with from time to time in a average PR feedback. So like it's a multi-layered thing right now. So yeah, that's something we have to tackle.
Will do.
Thank you so much. All right, folks, so we're out of time, and thanks a lot for joining today. Really nice to see everybody again. And yeah, let's make k8gb global again. Thank you. Cheers.
Touch base. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you, bye.
Bye.